both looking to unite the two halves of this sort of mystical triangle that will give its possessor kind of godlike powers. And they're hidden. They're very difficult to find because they're hidden at very remote parts of the universe, but also they're hidden in time. We need to wait for an eclipse, which only comes around every sort of 5,000 years, to unite it at the appropriate moment. So it's a very tricky quest, and we both are pursuing it for our own ends. Her, because she is sort of, she's rediscovering her father. She didn't know her mother, and she lost her father at a tender age, and it was his quest as well, and she's doing it for him, and I'm doing it just to be even more wealthy and be even more enormously powerful, so I can be even nastier to the human race than I am. The skill that I have to possess more than that is this sword fighting skill and weaponry, small knife stuff. And luckily and coincidentally, it tied into a particular obsession of mine anyway. I love all that. When I was at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art as a student, that's what I pursued. Everyone could do a bit of ballet or a bit of singing, extracurriculum activity, and that was mine, to play with swords. So we went through small swords, rapier and dagger and broadsword and stuff. And I loved it. So it was more familiar than it might have been, but this was a samurai sword that I had to work with in one particular sequence, and then knife spinning, which I just obsessively used to fiddle with all the time through takes and stuff, and we had a knife that was specially designed for me and for my hands. So Cambodia is going through this sea change, I think, you know, culturally and politically. It's become stable after decades of the most terrible fighting. And it was a sign of the time that we were invited back. You know, the first film crew for 38 years, I think Lord Jim was the last film that was made there. And because there's stability, you know, and even though there, you know, certain precautions had to be taken because the place is covered in these landmines and stuff. For, you know, it's really tragic, the state of the country. We had sort of minesweepers going in, clearing for the big vehicles coming in and stuff. But it's, you know, there's an incredible optimism in the air now, and a beautiful serenity to the people who are incredibly welcoming to us. And you're very wary, you know, as filmmakers coming in. You don't want to kind of goose step over other people's cultures and come in, hey, we got, you know. And so I think we were cautious of that and wanted them to approve of what we were doing. And I think Cambodia particularly, and curiously it kind of ties in with a spiritual enlightenment that LARA gleans from Cambodia itself. We as a group filming there were really touched by the experience in Cambodia.